I never really got on the frozen daiquiri train. I like the classic. Almost every bartender I've ever asked uses them to test another bartender's mettle. Of course it's that important of a drink, but it's really hard for people to get the balance just right. The daiquiri is often credited to an American who lived in Cuba during the Spanish-American War. Jennings Cox was a mining engineer who was known to be an amateur mixologist on the island. You know, I'm actually not even going to get into his whole story because he's definitely just the first person to write down the recipe. I mean, there's the local canchanchara, a similar drink using aguardiente, the grog used by the British Royal Navy to fight off scurvy, tea punch over in Martinique, and you know what? Why don't we go all the way back to Sir Francis Drake in the 1500s? Sure, his El Drake is more so the grandfather of the mojito, but the mojito and the daiquiri are basically siblings. The point is, it's pure delusion to think no one stumbled across this combination in centuries. Jennings does get credit for naming it the daiquiri though, after briefly considering just calling it a rum sour. It shares its name with the mining village where he first made it. It's worth noting that a lot of these original classic Cuban variations called for lemons, but that was just local parlance for key limes. Got lost in translation. Now, Emilio Gonzalez, aka Maragato, is the one who gets us to the classic daiquiri most of us would recognize. In Havana, he swapped out brown sugar for white sugar and gave it a more neutral background for the rum to play off of, and he strained the mixture into a cocktail glass, literally elevating it. Before then, the daiquiris Americans had started ordering came served on cracked or shaved ice. So there's actually a pretty good through line from Jennings' icy elixir to another Havana bartender's frozen daiquiri. But that's a story for another day. Cheers. This episode isn't brought to you by 10 to 1, but you should still buy rum from Black-owned companies. Clink responsibly.